With Americans stuck at home, Amazon is a key connection to the outside world right now. The company is ramping up hiring to meet demand, but what's the company doing to protect its workers? Joining me now is Amazon's Senior Vice President of Global Corporate Affairs, Carney. Amazon announced 100,000 new hires in order to keep up with the surge of online orders. How many people have been hired so far?
Well, I know, Brian, that we received an unbelievable number of applications in just the first 24 hours, something on the order of 50,000. So I'm not sure in the process right now how close we are to filling those slots, but I know we're moving very quickly.
Does Amazon seem like a public utility to you at this point? I know that conjures up regulatory issues, but does it feel that way to you at all?
Well, it feels like we are essential to so many Americans, millions and millions around the country who are depending on Amazon and other services like it to deliver things that they might otherwise have felt comfortable getting at a physical store. Now, I mean, as you know, Amazon's a big e-commerce company, but e-commerce is still only about 10 or 11% of retail. In this time period, during this crisis, I think more people are relying on home delivery, getting stuff at their doorstep, and that's why we've had to call on our employees to just do heroic things, to work really hard, to add hours, and then to hire more just to get Americans what they need.
Yeah, after Superstorm Sandy here in New York, there were gas lines. These days, there are food lines. I drove by 4 different Whole Foods. Amazon now owns Whole Foods, and there were lines outside all of them. And when I went inside one of the Whole Foods, most of the people were actually workers. They were carting up supplies, bringing groceries to people's homes. That leads me to a question from Dave on Twitter. He says, what is Amazon doing to help its frontline workers at distribution centers and Whole Food stores? What are you providing workers for safety?
Well, it's a great question because this is our first and primary concern, which is making sure that our Amazon employees, 500,000 plus in the United States, are as protected as they can be as they go about doing this heroic work for their fellow citizens. And we have instituted extraordinary measures in our fulfillment centers around social distancing, around extra deep cleaning of facilities, touch screens, other surfaces, making sure that there's no congregation that brings employees together and too close together for any period of time. And we've also, in addition to raising pay during this period, up to $17 an hour minimum, not up to, but beginning at $17 an hour minimum, which is well more than twice the federal minimum wage. We've offered extended benefits, an additional 2 weeks of paid time off if you're presumed to have or diagnosed with COVID, or if you have to go home to take care of a family member who has COVID-19. So we've also told employees if they're uncomfortable coming to work, if they're worried about their own health, they can take unlimited unpaid time off through the end of April with no repercussions at all. We don't want anyone to feel like their job depends on coming to work in this circumstance.
But are you all suffering from the same mask shortages and other supply shortages as the federal government and local governments?
Yes, of course. And in fact, we put in orders for millions of masks and for all the other kinds of personal protective equipment that people around the world are seeking. And a lot of what we are able to get our hands on, we divert right away to people who are in public-facing jobs, especially in the healthcare industry. As those that equipment becomes available, more readily available, we will make sure that we get our employees the masks and the other protective equipment that they need. When we do get it, and it's we're able to have them use it, we get it to them right away. As you know, right now the WHO still says that if you're not ill, you don't need to wear a mask. But we're taking every other precaution we can in this time period.
Amazon's also a massive media company. Are you seeing a surge in Prime Video viewership?
No, if we've seen that, I wouldn't be surprised if we had. I know in my house, I'm sitting in a family room right now. My 2 kids and my wife and I are watching a lot more streaming video than we used to, and I'd say we were pretty good viewers already. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen that. We've also done things in some of our other services to make to help our customers through this period. Twitch, which is a property we own, a gaming property, hosted a 12-hour live stream, a charity event. We've tried to help students through our Amazon Future Engineer program by providing online free coding classes to students around the country, high school and college. So we're looking for ways. We have a daily meeting with our leadership, including Jeff Bezos, the CEO, where while we go over sort of update on what's happening around the world with our employees and with our customers and our businesses, we also spend a significant amount of time just brainstorming about what else we can do, what novel.
You mentioned Bezos. President Trump and Bezos have had a bad relationship. Is that affecting Amazon right now? Do you need things from the federal government right now?
We are working cooperatively with the administration, and in fact have, notwithstanding some of the comments we've seen from the president about Amazon, I think that are mostly directed or generated because of his unhappiness with the Washington Post, which is not an Amazon property, but that Jeff owns. I think that, I know that my team is plugged in throughout the administration. Jeff himself has been on a phone call with President Trump, where President Trump said how much he appreciated what Amazon is doing, both on the front lines and getting goods to Americans, and also by hiring at a time when so many companies are having to lay workers off. So we're happy with the cooperation we've got.
Good to hear. Jay, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.